Have you ever been curious about what happens to your body when you begin to exercise? What are the changes in your body's structure, muscles, mind, and heart? In this video, we'll take a look at how to do precisely that. It's been said that exercising is like taking a miracle pill for your brain, and if a medicine existed that could accomplish all exercise can for your health, it would be the most valuable pharmaceutical ever discovered. So, why is exercise so beneficial to our health? After all, exercising is one of the most important habits that most successful people have. Have you ever pondered why this is the case? Charles Duhigg discusses what are known as keystone habits in his book, The Power of Habit. These are the habits that, when exercised, developed, and used, have the ability to effect change in all aspects of our life. Exercising is a foundational habit, which is why anyone seeking to cultivate self-discipline should go to the gym or engage in some type of physical activity on a daily basis. So we all know the physical benefits of exercise. You look better, you lose weight, you get leaner, you gain muscle, and you get fitter in general. These improvements are quite apparent. Exercising, on the other hand, has more benefits than meets the eye. The majority of people who exercise report feeling happier, more motivated, and less depressed. This is why exercise has been dubbed quote-unquote the wonder drug and is advised as a treatment for depression, sleeplessness, memory loss, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease, among other conditions. The reason behind this is that when you exercise, your body naturally creates chemicals like serotonin, endorphins, and a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Each of these hormones, in its own manner, aids in the reduction of stress, the improvement of sleep, the improvement of learning, and the enhancement of confidence. You'll feel more alert and enthusiastic when you begin exercising, whether it's your first time or after a long gap. Because increasing your heart rate increases overall blood flow and oxygen to the brain, this causes a hormone called dopamine to be released, which is responsible for our motivation and concentration, as well as the happiness we feel when we complete a task. It makes you want to do things and convinces you that the task was worthwhile. If you have a dopamine deficiency, you may find it difficult to get things done since you aren't deriving enough satisfaction from them. However, when you exercise, the quantity of dopamine in your blood increases, and instead of feeling weary and worn out, you feel inspired and stimulated. We'll go over this in greater detail later, but first, consider the physical impacts of exercise. The physical effects of exercise may not be noticeable after a few weeks. In fact, after a month of exercise, there are likely to be a few apparent outcomes. Physical changes occur regardless of whether you can see them or not at the time you are working out and exercising. To begin, you will feel a boost in energy a few weeks after beginning a cardio exercise due to a surge in metabolism and mitochondria. One of the most common misunderstandings about exercise is that it induces weight reduction. In reality, exercise causes muscle building. Muscles also have mitochondria, which are energy-burning organelles. Mitochondria are the portions of your cells that turn carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins into fuel for your muscles. People can boost their mitochondria by up to 50% after 6 to 8 weeks, according to studies. You will notice a difference in your fitness if you have more mitochondria in your cells. For example, you can effortlessly ascend flights of stairs that earlier would have made you feel like you have just completed a marathon. Your muscles will begin to expand and become stronger about after a month. When you work out, you will feel the strength in your muscles, even if it isn't evident. Muscle cells require a lot of energy, which means you will burn a lot of calories. In fact, they burn more calories than fat cells even when you aren't exercising. As a result, the time you spend exercising pays off long after you've stopped exercising. This implies you can literally slump on your couch and burn fat while watching TV or Netflix. However, this should be taken with a grain of salt. According to the National Science of Medicine of the United States, if you exercise consistently for 6 months, focusing primarily on cardio, you will lose weight. Your overall VO2 max should increase by 20%. The rate at which your body can transfer oxygen to your muscles for fuel is measured by VO2 max, which is widely employed as a fitness metric. So, if your VO2 max is higher, you should be able to run faster and for longer periods of time in a shorter amount of time. As a result, a 20% increase in your VO2 max should allow you to run 20% longer in the same period of time. So, if you can run a mile in 10 minutes, a 20% increase in your VO2 max should allow you to run 1.2 miles in the same amount of time. Finally, regular exercise expands the size of your heart and strengthens it over time. When you exercise, your heart rate rises and pumps more blood than it typically would. As a result, the muscles in your heart become stronger, lowering your risk of a heart attack. This normally occurs after about 6 months of consistent exercise, around the same time that the physical benefits of exercise become apparent. An increase in blood circulation to the brain is one of the physical impacts that may not be obvious. As a result, the brain operates more efficiently, resulting in increased concentration when doing tasks. Exercising also encourages the growth of new brain cells, which improves learning and memory. Endorphins are also released during exercise to help you cope with any stress you may be experiencing. Endorphins are known as feel-good hormones, and when they are released into your body, your mood is raised and you experience a sense of happiness. Any tension you may be feeling before exercising is relieved, and as a result, when you constantly exercise, your body receives a steady supply of endorphins and dopamine, leaving you feeling supercharged and motivated to face the day. Another advantage of exercising for your brain is that you sleep better. It's impossible to pinpoint the exact process that leads to greater sleep and reduced insomnia through exercise. Depression and anxiety, on the other hand, are the most common causes of restlessness and insomnia. Exercising helps to alleviate depression and anxiety symptoms by releasing endorphins and dopamine. As a result, the symptoms of insomnia are reduced, and you should be able to sleep better. Additionally, if one exercises outright before bed, the drop in temperature that occurs after exercising may aid in falling asleep. Exercise in the afternoon or early evening can also help you sleep better. Because insomnia is characterized by a distorted circadian rhythm, exercise can assist to correct that biological clock, resulting in improved sleep. Exercising elevates your mood in the short term due to the release of endorphins and modest levels of serotonin. The regular production of these hormones make you feel good about yourself and joyful, which helps you gain confidence. What an incredible feat! This is because even if you don't see any physical changes at first, you develop a better sense of your own body as you work out. Making the decision to get healthy and aggressively attempting to get fit and in shape makes you feel proud of yourself and makes you feel wonderful and awesome, leading to a boost in confidence. Finally, when physical changes are seen, your confidence soars. In fact, some people claim that exercise has changed their lives and their attitudes on life in general. Exercise restores your self-esteem, making you feel good about yourself and boosts your confidence to the point where you'll finally have the guts to ask out that girl you've always wanted. It can and will improve your grades, as well as save you money by always reducing the number of trips to the hospital. In addition, money spent on prescription pharmaceuticals is taxed. So, exercising is certainly beneficial to our physical and mental health, and if you exercise for 3 hours a week on a consistent basis, you will most likely live longer than you would otherwise. And a longer life will almost certainly feel happier and more fulfilled. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. If you enjoyed it or believe it might help a friend or someone else, please share it with them. Also, if you're a subscriber, please do me a favor and click on that bell symbol to activate notifications. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.